Hello everybody, Third Baseman 4 here, coming at you with my macro keybind video. I'm going to go over the basics, nothing too complicated. Hopefully it'll allow you guys to kind of get an idea of what this mod is capable of doing. Makes your entire Minecraft experience so much simpler. You can do anything you want with this mod. Admins can do anything, players can do anything. Alright, so let's get started. So the way you're going to access your macro keybind GUI is go ahead and hit Sneak or Shift, and then the little squiggly key, which is called Grave, next to the 1. That'll pull up this screen right here. As you're going to see, you're going to be kind of overwhelmed with all these different types of keypads and various information on the screen. It's simple. It basically just shows which keys can be binded and which keys can't. If it's red, don't bind something to it. It already has something bound to it, like space. That's your jump key. If you don't, when you're jumping, you don't want it to execute a command or say something in chat. Otherwise, it's just going to be a pain in the butt. If it's yellow, that means something is bound to that key. And if it's kind of an orange color, that means there's a conflict. So if we bound something to R, you'll see it's orange. So what this keybind mod does is when you hit that key, it'll execute whatever you put in the little bar right here. So I got a few made up for you. First one, basic testing. So when you hit the G key, it's going to say testing, just like this. Once you hit the G key, testing in chat. The next one that we have is the simple -home command. So I have my home set right about here somewhere. If I go over here, and instead of typing -home into chat, simply hit the H key, brings you right back here. Executes that command for you nicely. That's the same thing I have set up with your jump to command to J. So instead of needing to type -jump to every single time you want to go from mountain to mountain or whatever, makes it a lot easier. Those are the basics. Those are what you're going to use a lot of the time, say with your jump to and your magic carpet and your virtual chest and that kind of stuff, or your spawn commands. After that, it gets a little bit more complicated and even more fun to use. So one command that I have been using a little bit is this one right here. When you open up the box, it pulls up all these different types of parameters that you can use. So for this example, I'm going to use the TPA function. So say you want to TPA to a friend, right? But you don't want to have to type in their name every single time because they have a really complicated name with names and letters and numbers, and it's just a pain in the butt. So what you're going to want to do is type -TPA $F, which you can find right here, which will prompt for a friend when you execute that command. So we have this bound to M. So let's go ahead and hit M. Here it's going to enter friend name for M. So either you can go ahead and type in there, I don't know, Third Baseman 4, and then it'll try to teleport to them. But I'm Third Baseman 4, so it's not going to work. Or you can add a list of friends, which is what this bar right here is. So go ahead and double-click Add Friend. It'll bring up New Friend. So I don't know, let's say Third Base Boy 4, which is my alternate account. And then you can choose an icon for him too, so you can kind of help change or pick which friend is which. Sorry, I couldn't come up with the word there. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and hit Add. You'll see it shows up right here. Then once you have multiple people in the list, let's put in Westbound Kitten, because I know she's probably going to watch this. You can choose back and forth, and it automatically puts it in down here. Another cool function of this, you hit Add Friend. If you hit Auto, it'll bring up everybody who is online at the moment. Here you can go ahead and click, let's say, let's add myself. All you do is drag and drop, and it puts it over here. Simple enough, right? So once you do that, go ahead and click, I don't know, let's click Westbound Kitten. Error, player not found. She's not online. I would show you guys an example, but when I tried to log in with my alternate account, my computer, if it's possible to flatline a computer, it did. So now that we're kind of getting into parameters, the next one that I have for you guys is using -t-spawn. Going back and forth between towns can be kind of a pain in the butt because you got to type -t-spawn every single time. This uses the same thing. -t-spawn, $, $t. This prompts for a town. Works the same way that the friend does. You can either enter the town name or add a town. We'll click that, put in the town, let's say Tachikoma. I believe that's how you spelled it. And then even if you want a different display name, you can put that in there. So say you put in my town, you can change the icon. They got, what, 256 of them, plenty. Or, just like before, you can hit auto. If there is townie on the server, it'll pull up all of the towns on that server. There's not on this server, just made a quick one really quick. And then you can go ahead and drag and drop, just like before. Another cool one that I'm going to use right now is, where did I set it to? Here it is. It's the time set function. Granted, this isn't going to work for a lot of the players on the server just because you don't have the permission. But for admins, or if you donate up to that P time, personal time, you can use this. So time set, and then it'll prompt you for a name. So instead of having to type in time set day every single time, just go ahead and hit that keybind. You can see that the last entry that we put in was day. So let's change it to night. Hit enter, it'll automatically change it. Another thing that you can do with this is, with that same parameter, instead of having to type it in, you can add a list of names. So let's do day or night. And finish the brackets off, hit save, launch that macro again. You can see it pulled up a list of day or night, and it automatically puts it in. Double click it, brings in day. Double click night, brings in night. Very simple, very easy to use. You can add parameters like that to any command you want. The next one is the warp command. Again, very simple, works the same way. Pull up the warp. It has what you can put in, so let's warp to my test warp, which is over here. And if you can also add warps. So add warp test, and then just make sure you spell it the exact same way you did when you made the warp. So if we go B, you'll see it comes up with list test, or warp test. Go ahead and click. It'll warp you to that warp. Let's see it again. If we go add warp auto, it'll pull up all the warps that are publicly available or privately available to your player. In this sidebar, drag it, drop it, boom. Now it's part of your warp list. You can double click test 2, brings us over here to warp test 2. Another great function that I like to use, looks like I have it set up in my default configuration, is texture packs. You can actually change your texture pack with the Keybind mod. So let's say I'm building something, I want to see how it looks in the default texture pack. I have it scripted for me, so it says changing to default pack, and then give it a second, boom, changes the world back to default pack, and I have it script me complete. When it comes out in blue, that is only to the client side. It has nothing to do with the server. It won't send it in chat, so there's no need to worry about spamming people when you're changing texture packs. And I also have keypad number 2 change to Sphax, which is the texture pack that I use. This one's going to take a little while just because it's a little bit larger and more detailed of a pack. As you can see, it'll say changing to Sphax. It will change your texture pack, and it will say complete. For these a little bit more complicated scripts, I will go ahead and post coding into the forum post and let you guys kind of pick and choose what you want. When you add a code or a script, all you have to do is go into here and put $, curly bracket, which you can see here, your script, which I will post in there, and then $ or curly bracket $. That will finish out the code and make sure everything goes smoothly. Running out of a little bit of time here, so I might have to split this up into 2 videos. But the next thing that I'm going to go over with you guys is a little bit of automated chat messaging. That automated chat will send out a specific amount of chat every however many seconds or minutes. You can only send out chat every 15 minutes for advertisement on Imperial Realms. So I'll go ahead and make sure that it's set for 15 minutes when you guys download that code. But for my sake, I will do 5 seconds. continuing on with that 5 seconds, what I'm going to do is just show you guys how that works. So you go into, let's see, it's in the video configuration. You can change different configurations. So say you're playing single player and you want a specific macro, or you're playing Imperial Realms, it changes whatever macros you can see as here. Default is what I use for Imperial Realms. Video is what I made for this video. Let's go to the test.txt. This, once you put these $$ curly bracket, $$ curly bracket signifies that it's a script. It will not read it as a script unless you encase it in these $$ curly brackets. To signify a text, which is, you go up to this edit file and click on the text, and then you can script in there, which makes it a lot easier, and it also prompts when you type something in, outputs specific text to a local chat stream. You do $, little alligator bracket, the name of the document.txt, alligator bracket, and then it will make it yellow, which means that it worked. So for this example, I just have it saying testing 1, 2, 3 every 5 seconds. So once you go ahead and click that macro, it'll say starting test, which is a little something that I have implemented in there. Testing 1, 2, 3 every 5 seconds. It will send out testing 1, 2, 3, continuously looping until you hit the macro again, in which it'll say ending test. Simple as that. Great for advertising shops or sending out messages every so often saying, hey, I'm still here, I'm not AFK. Just be careful, do not set it for less than 15 minutes or else you will be warned for spamming, because that is against server rules. It's a very powerful mod. You can use it for just about anything. I highly recommend installing it. If you have any questions, ask me. If I don't know the answer, I'll be sure to figure it out. I love playing around with it. That's the basics of the mod. I will be sure to post all of those scripts and how to use them in the forum, and hope you guys stuck with it the entire video, and I will see you guys later.